First of all, we will hear from Yulia Navalny in respect of the death of her late husband, Alexei, and I think her presence here is significant because what has happened reminds us all of the repressive and oppressive nature of the regime in the Russian Federation and of how President Putin has ruthlessly put down any opposition and suppressed any dissent.
Hello, good morning.
Where nobody can stop Israel from extending this operation.
At the very least, we should be talking about sanctions, first of all. We did that in the past. Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible reminder, but that every time an opposition member is killed in Russia, Europe had sanction packages. Now, I mean, it's the very least that we could do, and then demand of release of his body and a proper burial that his family and the people who trusted in him that they deserve.
We have to send a message of support to the Russian opposition, and at the same time we will continue watching how the war is. It's about 2 years that Putin launched this war against Ukraine, and it doesn't look being ready to stop it, by the contrary. So in both fronts, in the political one and in the military one, you have to continue our support to Ukraine and to the Russian people who want to be living in freedom, and to pay an homage to Navalny. And in order to honor his memory, we propose the ministers to rename our human rights sanctions regime with his name and call it the Navalny Human Rights Sanctions Regime, in order for his name to be forever written on the work of the European Union on defending human rights. Yes, member states will propose sanctions, for sure, against the responsible. Well, the great responsible is Putin himself. But we can go down to the institutional structure of the penitentiary system in Russia. But don't forget who is the real responsible for the Navalny's death.
We've over 1.5 million people crowded into a very small corner of Gaza. They're weary, they're exhausted from moving from the north to the centre and on to the south of Gaza. They have nowhere else to go. There are thousands of children who have been without school for months. The trauma that they have gone through is extraordinary. How can anyone contemplate adding to that trauma? And that is beyond me. It is simply an inhumane act, and would be an inhumane act. That the hostages should be released, and Hamas should lay down its arms. What Hamas is doing is absolutely unacceptable, and we've condemned Hamas's activities from the beginning. But the world is shocked, and the people on the ground and out in the streets are shocked at the level of inhumanity that's now happening within Gaza itself.
I don't do the megaphone politics, so that I don't tweet or everything, but I'm still in contact every day with Israeli politicians, and I try to tell them that if they don't want to lose the last support they have in the world, they should avoid to do things that they would regret.
The most important thing would be that Hamas would lay down its weapons. In a situation where this is not the case yet, I made very clear that Israel has the right of self-defense but has to comply with international humanitarian law. And in a situation where over 1 million people went down to the south of Gaza because the IDF told them so, they cannot just disappear in the sky, and therefore it needs protection for those people. It needs humanitarian protection. The people have to go home, should be allowed to go back home in the north, and for all of that, we need a humanitarian ceasefire, and this is what we are heavily working on. Thank you very much.
Putin is a killer! Putin убийца! Навальный герой! Putin убийца! Россия без Путина! Россия без Путина! Россия без Путина!
I've got you back.